Good morning, Dr. Ulysses Jackson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in and checking in and even taking the time to hear what I got to say. The last video I was talking about, man, was like an introduction to who I am, who is Dr. Ulysses Jackson, man. And those that viewed that, I appreciate that. I want to just let everybody know, this is definitely information, and this is not therapeutic by any means. This is just for educational purposes and no longer, not at all and no ways or means therapy. Today I want to talk about avoiding bad energy. We hear people talk about that a lot, I don't vibe with this person or I don't vibe with that person. And it could all start with just being around someone, where it's just like you could just feel the energy. And this energy could change over time. Where if you got to go somewhere and someone's going to be there, it's like, oh man, do I even want to go? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Some methods that, to be aware of when you know that you may be encountering this bad energy. I'm talking about long-term people that we've known, and I'm also talking about coworkers. Even people in a casual encounter, like you in the store, you're in the supermarket, you might be on an airplane. When you get to the point where you just say, you know what? Our spirits and our energy, it just don't connect. And at times, this could be unavoidable. Like if I'm taking a long bus ride and the person sitting on the side or behind me, or the person sitting in front of you just keep rocking the seat back, or the person next to you on an airplane and listening to something. It's so loud you can't hear what you're doing or you reading your book. So these are common situations that happen, but it leads people to get agitated. It leads people to get very upset, So we're going to talk about these things. And one of the most important things that I found out when I find myself in these situations is the actual evaluating the situation. When I say evaluating, say, why am I here? I'm here because I'm on a bus ride from New York to New Jersey. I'm here because the plane flew from New York to Norfolk State. I'm evaluating how long is this going to happen? How long are me and this person going to be in the same proximity? Intimate relationships. You get to a point where it just ain't clicking no more. You and her or her and him, whatever your situation is, the interrelation, it's like it becomes repugnant. Like, oh my God, I can't even be around this person. You know what I'm saying? That's that bad energy. That's that bad vibe. Evaluate. Don't go from 0 to 100. Think about it. Say to yourself, what do I need to do to get out of here? What do I need to do to get my peace of mind? Because if I act crazy and I act a fool, am I going to get brought out of here in handcuffs? Am I going to get drug out? What's going to be the consequences? So one of the main things that we have to look at when we're in an uncomfortable situation or we run into that unavoidable energy is, why am I here? Now, I had situations where I've worked somewhere and I've told my boss at the time, I'm giving my 2-week notice. I'm just going to go ahead and give my 2-week notice. And they're like, thank you so much for this 2-week notice. But then, for those 2 weeks, it's like biting your nails every day. And I'm saying, man, I gave y'all years and years of work. How did it get to this? So then now, you upset because you see the what we call disrespect. You want to get that energy back. But now you got to be careful because what the boss could do is write you up. And where you're going, they might say, well, how was it when you left the last place? And you like, I had to be humble Harry the last 2 weeks when I give that notice. Because what happens now is that person or that prior boss and supervisor, they have that energy to write up and discredit everything you've done for the last few years and base it to them last 2 weeks. Because they got to find a replacement. They got to find a replacement. And in finding that replacement, they're put in a situation where if they can't match whatever you was doing, they have a problem. And some of the jobs I worked at is that if they couldn't do the job, they had to find somebody. And if you did a great job and you were leaving, it boiled down to this now, right? It boiled down to, I now have to do your job. What boss, who is a boss, wants to do your job? That's where the anger, the animosity, that's where all that comes in at. So, just be aware that you're going to find yourself in situations that you might say, when I give this notice, or I tell them, hey, I found something new. Here's my 2 weeks. No, when you do that, there's going to be some energy coming with that. Some people get to party in the balloons. They're fortunate. Hey, John's leaving tomorrow. Sally's leaving tomorrow. We're going to throw the big party. Some is, that energy. But be aware of this. Be aware of this. Be able to evaluate this. Evaluate the encounter. Like when you go to court, regardless if it's traffic ticket or criminal, don't be mad at the DA. He has a job to get convictions. So when you go in and see the district attorney and you're trying to get a plea bargain deal with the judge in the courts, understand that the district attorney going to say, well, he or she has a long, extensive criminal record. And we recommend 18 months. We recommend 5 years in Fort Dix Federal Penitentiary. We recommend Mohawk. We recommend the Oneida Hub. We recommend Clinton, Comstock, And then you're mad, but you got to say again, go back to evaluation, consequential thing. How did I get here? So yeah, some bad energy is avoidable, but some you could avoid yourself. Like today, I've been the court or been on a court calendar for a long time. Criminal, traffic, anything. So if I do something where I find myself there, I got to know, do I walk in with representation, with a lawyer, or do I walk in by myself? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to create an energy when I go in there. My lawyer ain't get me the deal I wanted. I got points on my license. You thought you was going to just walk away with a small infraction. Nah, some of this stuff we create, and some of this stuff we could avoid. Summer's here, right on the heels. So if I know it's a family reunion, or if I know it's a big cookout coming up, and cousin so-and-so's coming, or so-and-so's going to come with their partner, and I don't like him and I don't vibe, I got to evaluate. Do I want to go, and do I have to go? Because some of us go like this. I'm going to go. I'm going to smoke me 2 L's. I'm going to turn up. And when I get there, I wish he would. Come on, man. Or I'm going to be in a party. I'm going to be at my family's cookout, and I'm going to play the corner, and I'm going to just have to murder one all day. The ugly. For what? For what? You just became what we talking about. You became that avoiding bad energy. And I used to tell my mother one time, I said, Mom, we was on our way to a family reunion in North Carolina. And I said to her, Mom, everybody that's coming here is coming for different reasons. I might come to see some cousins I haven't seen. You're coming to see your sisters and brothers. You're coming to have a good time. You're coming for the banquet on, the last night that we're there. You're coming for enjoyment. See, grandkids and great grandkids. You're coming for those reasons. Everybody else ain't coming there. If I agreed, I want to leave the town. I want to go from Long Island to Greensboro and see what's popping down there for the weekend. So I'm going with an energy. And when I get there, what's my turn up? At that point, if I drink, if I smoke, where's the local bar? I'm trying to get into what I want to get into. So as we discuss this, avoiding bad energy, also look at the energy you project. Do you come with that bad energy? Or are you trying to avoid this bad energy? You know? And this is why a lot of things and situations happen lately, because we're coming out with predetermined idea. I wake up, I don't have no reason to think I'm gonna have a bad day. I don't have no reason to think at the gas station, I'm gonna curse out the gas station man. But if something happened last night, and I bet big on the game, and my team lost, I'm waking up with attitude. I'm turned up already. Because now I gotta pay this money, and I may or may not have it. Or I may or may not even wanna pay it. You know? I may be on some, you know what? I'm a dub her. I'm a dub him. They ain't getting nothing. So yeah, we have to look at the part we play when it comes to this bad energy. And again, this is not anything therapeutic. This is just a discussion. So how do you avoid negative situations? Or what do you do when you find yourself in that situation? Again, whether it's family, friends, casual encounter, what do you really do? You know, how do you not turn up? You know, how do you not go from 0 to 100 and say, I'm gonna lose my shit? How do you not do that? You know, because sometimes now, lately, because now that I'm a grown man, I have to say, when I find myself in a situation like that, how can I exit this without being a fool? You know, I just, you know, for my own personal reason, I don't drink anything like that. But when I did, I was on that I wish he would. I'm sitting and I'm drinking, and I believe they don't call it a spirit just for they snatch that out the head. I'm drinking and I'm creating a certain energy, and my ears is keen and sharp. And I'm really looking for disrespect. No, I'm looking for something to trigger me off to go. You know, because I know stop and go at that point, you know, back then. And I'm ready to go. So I'm that negative energy. I'm that unavoidable. You know, and I've heard situations where you go out with your friends and y'all get into a big bar brawl. How did that happen? Not with the people in the bar, with your own friends. And then sometimes you even got to ride home with them. You know, so we have to think, man. We heard growing up, it's easy to walk away to fight another day. Or now, it's easier to walk away and live another day. So we're talking about a few things here. You're at the grocery store. The line is long. The person behind you or in front of you is turned up, flipping. Yo, F this, using all kind of, you know, real creative words. And you sitting there and you got your, whatever you in the line for, you got it, and you saying to yourself, I hope they don't bring that to me. Because you got your own life. I hope they don't bring that to me. This way the evaluation comes in. Where you be like, in your mind, you're like, if this person says something to me, I'm going to turn up and I'm going to show out and I'm going to act a fool. It's going to be a bloody mess in here. Or you could say, I'm going to take the high road. I'm going to walk out of here. I'm going to feel disrespected, but I get to live another day. And I might get to tell somebody that, you know, I did good today. I didn't act up. You know, and you get the hand clap from your friends. Yeah, man, you know, because you usually act up. You know, these are things that we have to evaluate. So remember, if anything, you can always, if you don't take nothing from what I'm saying right now, take this. You can always rethink a thought. Once that hammer bang and that action is done, you can't take that back. So I can think of the wildest stuff in the world to do. I can think of the most creative stuff in the world to do. But once I do it, that action happened, and I can't take that back. Good, bad, or indifference, it's done. The deed and the action is done. So remember that, man, that you could think it, you on the line saying, listen, man, I hope they don't bring that to me, because they don't even know where I'm at, you know? And it's also, if you watch somebody arguing with somebody or get ready to even get physical with somebody, you have to evaluate that. If you ain't a lawmaker or peacemaker and you want to play vigilante, understand something that come with that. Because everybody out here ain't just with the walk away stuff. That's why we look around, we see all this stuff happening. This is why we have this type of conversation. What do I do if I'm upset? What do I do if I'm turned up? How do I avoid this? Right? So this brings it to knowing a situation that you find yourself being uncomfortable with. If you're fortunate enough to have a therapist or counselor, talk to them. You know, therapists, I have an event that I'm going to this summer, and my uncle usually comes with his wife. I really don't get along with them too much, and it's always an argument. What should I do? And sometimes even the therapist, depending on their method in which they do counseling, they may even role play. And in the role play, they might bring you into a scenario where if you say this and this person says, how are you going to respond? And if you notice, if every one of your responses is violence and more extreme violence or disrespectful, then you say, that's not going to work, you know? And everyone's not fortunate to have a counselor or a therapist that they're comfortable with, that they can discuss this with. Because sometimes they just go off the handle. Me, I'll say to myself, I'm going to go here. And if this happens, what am I going to do? But I've been doing this, this is my profession and career. So I'm used to consequential thinking things through and looking beyond that moment. Because I know it could go left and turn all the way up. So I have to make a decision. Is this going to be something that I'm uncomfortable with? Even when I go to the store right now, if I get up right now to go get lunch, I have to know it's a 50-50 chance I could run into someone or situation that I feel uncomfortable with. And I got to walk in and I got to evaluate. I got to evaluate the situation. How am I feeling here? What do I feel like? You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do? I'm not gonna go into, we see what's going on the news. And if sometimes somebody had someone to talk to and someone to explore these feelings and emotions before it happened. Because for me to go outside with a loaded gun every day, I'm turned up already. That's why when everybody's yelling, mental health, it starts with small foundation like this. How do I avoid bad energy? And if I encounter bad energy, what do I do? Don't wait. Process it. Talk to your friends, your family, your loved ones, your partner, your kids. Listen, walk away. When we was young, say, don't go out there and get no trouble. I don't hear parents saying that no more. Before it was, come in before the lights come on at night. Now it's like, each one teach one. I come from a place where it says it took a village to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? Where my neighbor could call my mother and say, I saw him out there acting stupid. We don't have that no more. We don't have that more. Everybody being raised by the internet. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? We're being raised by that. You know what I'm saying? So you gain some stuff, but then you lose some core values. So identify what you've been through for future references. And remember, some things are going to just be unavoidable. There's no way around it. It's going to be unavoidable. How do you deal with that, this bad energy, and use consequential thinking? Like I said, casually, you could be anywhere, and it could just happen. I could go to GameStop to pick up my son's game, and it's a long line, and the person in front of me starts yelling and screaming. I've been here. I thought this through. I played this before. I saw this scenario. I know me. What am I going to do? I evaluate that. So sometimes let's not wait until we find ourselves in a negative situation or with bad energy. Let's be proactive today. I appreciate y'all for listening and taking your time to spend with the doc. I'm definitely gonna I got some goodies coming for y'all. I got some people that want to talk to me, and we ain't gonna do it through texting. I'm gonna bring them in, or I'm gonna go to them, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna get into some real in-depth mental health questions. If y'all got any questions y'all want to ask the doc, man, you see the comment section below. Also, let us know how you avoid bad energy, because just, things may be coming up soon and places you might be where everybody's back out. As they say, they out in the streets now. I'm back outside. So understand, there's going to be some people you may encounter that you didn't see in the last couple of years. So tell us how you avoid bad energy and how you make it through your day. Dr. Ulysses Jackson. Remember, if you like what I'm saying or you want to hear more about this, hit that like button and subscribe and tell a friend. Dr. Jackson, thank you.